have this vivid memory of sitting in the bathtub one time and just crying.
I think I punched my dad once.
You're not in charge of me right now. Like, you just won't leave me alone.
I had an epidural in my back, so I couldn't move very well.
She just wanted me to keep pushing and keep going.
Everybody had one. Like, if you didn't have one, you were looked down upon.
This is a show where teenagers share their experiences growing up in today's world. I'm your host, Dr. RJ, and this is A Teen's Perspective. Hello and welcome to A Teen's Perspective. Today, I have a special guest for you. I have a 14-year-old who is not just sitting at home being bored during these coronavirus times. He is actually making an impact and spreading happiness by playing the tabla. You're a minor, so let's come up with a name so I can call you something. So give me a name. If you were a superhero, what name would you want?
If I was a superhero, what name would I want? I would want Mr. Fantastic, because that's my favorite superhero.
Okay, Mr. Fantastic. And would you have the same superpowers?
I would, because I love spreading positivity throughout the community, and I would use my superpowers to do so.
That is awesome. So let's welcome Mr. Fantastic to the show. Let's start off with just your background. So share with me as early as you can remember, how is it growing up in your family?
So I was born in upstate New York. My parents are originally immigrants who came to the United States 20 years ago. I come from really humble backgrounds, and I'm really grateful for where I am today. It's all because of the support I have from my parents, my family, extended family, and also all my friends. And I'm grateful enough to be going to boarding school next year. And I really enjoy my passion of music, and I play 3 instruments. So I'm really involved with the community. I do a lot of community service, and I love spreading positivity throughout the community, especially with my passion of music.
Now, where did you first find this passion of music?
So I actually first found this passion in music 8 years ago when I started playing tabla. So I've actually wanted to play tabla since I was 3 years old. However, my fingers were too small at that time, and my parents encouraged me to wait a little bit. And then I started when I was 6 years old, and I've been playing since then. I also started learning piano when I was 6 years old and have been continuing that since. And also I played trombone in the school band and jazz ensemble, which I've been playing for 5 years now.
That's awesome, because I used to play the trombone too when I was your
Wow.
age. Yeah,
that's so cool.
See, I'm like 6'5", so I have long arms. So
wow.
It was so easy to use a trombone. So your parents, allowed you to start playing these instruments around the age 6. Did they see that you had this amazing passion for it, or they just wanted to kind of keep you busy?
Actually, my parents have been supportive of whatever I do. So I've done so many sports as well that I didn't enjoy. Like I played soccer in kindergarten, and I straight up told my parents that I don't like this. So they've been supportive with me, whatever I do. I actually was a person who wanted to start the music and also to keep myself busy. But not only that, actually I started getting involving tabla into my school community as well, only about 2 or 3 years ago. And what I've done in 2 or 3 years has really been amazing, because I've been able to play for seniors, talent shows, and even play at fundraiser events.
That is extremely cool. So share with us, why the tabla?
That's a very interesting question, because for me, I'm all about being a unique person. So when first someone hears what a tabla is, I really enjoy spreading my Indian heritage throughout the community. I enjoy mixing American pop culture with the Indian heritage. And I also played on songs like Uptown Funk and Old Town Road in school talent shows. And I even played in the New York City India Day Parade. So I really enjoy mixing both the cultures and really being true to my Indian heritage.
That's awesome. So share with us your transition to middle school, because that seems to be the hardest part for most kids, is going from kindergarten or elementary to middle school. So share with us, what are some of the challenges you found in middle school?
So some of the challenges I actually found during middle school, 5th and 6th grade, I spent middle school in a public school. And then in 7th and 8th grade, I actually transitioned to a private school. So that's actually interesting for me, because for me, one of the biggest challenges were moving away from my friends that I had at public school. However, I've developed very close bonds with most of my friends at public school. And then now I'm still friends with them right now as I move on to boarding school, going in high school. One of the most challenging things for me was definitely time management because I used to do so many taekwondo, swimming, basketball, balancing three instruments. So time management for me was a really crucial aspect that I learned all throughout middle school. And now I'm learning how to better manage my time wisely and also to find what's important to me.
Thanks for sharing that. You mentioned you've experienced private school and public.
I have, yes. I've been very fortunate.
Give us your perspective on those.
So I've been very fortunate enough to go to a private school. One perspective I have upon private school is that it's a very small class. I have about 35 kids in my grade, and I really enjoy the one-on-one attention that the teachers can provide us. I really enjoy the sense of community that my school provides us with because I'm all about being a part of the community and having close friends. And also, for me, one aspect was academic rigor. At public school, I was finding that I was not being challenged enough. So I transitioned to private school. And then I realized that the teachers can actually adapt to your needs and wants. And also they provided me with the challenge I was looking for.
So whose idea was it to take you out of public and move you to private?
It was actually mine. My parents supported me in whatever I did. So one day I came home from school in sixth grade and said, Mom, Dad, I want to try private school. I'm actually an only child, so I don't have any siblings. So my parents have been supportive in whatever I do because they want the best for me and I want the best for myself. And they know that. So it was actually my idea to do so. And they supported me wherever I have. And now I'm sitting here because of them.
That's awesome. Yeah. Now, you mentioned that you were the only child. So share with me about the pros and cons to being the only child.
So the pros and cons to being an only child. One pro is that I can spend a lot of time doing and experimenting with what I like to do because I love trying new things, especially trying new foods, trying new sports and languages as well. I'm trilingual. However, one con is that I don't really have any siblings, so I tend to be lonely sometimes, especially my parents while they're at work and I'm home alone. But I've learned to manage my time wisely and do what I like, especially trying new things. And that's actually when I started experimenting with the tabla, playing on English pop culture songs. And I've learned to manage my time with that. So that's actually another pro of being an only child.
Yeah, that's awesome. Can you share from your perspective, what are some of the things that your parents did to instill this love for community?
My mom, she actually has a karaoke group. So she actually sings for seniors as well, senior citizens. So she actually took me to one of her events at a senior center. And I loved it because all of the seniors were dancing to the music. They were enjoying their time. My mom sings and I play the drums. And my dad, we like to call it that he's the audience. He critiques us, our music. So we have a really close bond, the three of us. And also because we volunteer our time at youth, there's an organization called Project One Hunger, which my parents and I volunteer at a lot. And also our local temple that we volunteer our time over there. I play the drums over there as well, especially during our religious services.
Walk us through your initial reactions to the whole COVID-19 shelter in place, homeschooling. Like, give us all of your thoughts on that.
Honestly, for me, the biggest part of COVID-19 that I don't like is not being able to see my friends. Especially this is the last year of middle school. I'm transitioning to my last week of middle school starting on Monday. So one of the biggest parts that I don't like has been especially not seeing my friends. However, I've learned to make the best of what I have. And I've been speaking to my friends more online, playing video games with them, also helping them with math homework, which I love to do. And also having a lot of time with my family that I can spend because both my parents are home and I love playing tabla and teaching tabla to others.
So what gave you the idea? You're at home, you're doing your homework, and then what gave you the inspiration to say, you know what, I'm going to use this time and do good for people who need it most?
I realized that my grandmother was supposed to visit us from India. However, due to COVID-19, she was not able to. And that made me quite sad because I was really looking forward to seeing her, especially after 3 years. That's the moment I realized that I should do something for the community to spread happiness and bring a smile to seniors' faces. So that's when I actually started FaceTiming and video chatting with senior citizens, my grandparents, and other kids and adults with special needs. And I started playing music with them, and I really enjoy seeing their smiling faces. And it brings me great joy to see what I can do for the community.
So you started playing for your grandparents. What then sparked the decision to start going locally and working with the nursing homes?
So I've always loved just being around senior citizens. And one aspect that sparked playing for those in the nursing homes is that, as I mentioned, my mom, she took me to one of her sessions in the nursing home. And I just loved how all the seniors were dancing around. But then I also noticed that so many senior citizens didn't have anything to do, especially now during the times of COVID-19. They can't see any of their family. So that's when I realized that my grandparents still can talk to me, but those in the nursing homes have no one to talk to. So that's when I realized that I should play for those as well.
How was the logistics for doing all that?
I would have to give all the credit to my mom. She knows a lot of people at nursing homes, and she videotaped me and then sent it to a lady that runs the nursing home. And she actually showed it to the senior citizens living in the homes, and they loved it. And then that's how it actually all started. And now here we are.
Wow. And how did that make you feel whenever your mom was like, hey, they loved it?
As soon as I said that, it brought me a smile to my face because I really love what I do. And I just love being a part of the community.
Then a local newspaper kind of picked up your story. So tell us a little bit about that.
That's actually a very interesting part because I actually emailed my school about this, and the director of strategic initiatives saw this and said, oh, wow, this is really great what you're doing. Do you mind if I share it with the local newspaper? And I said, yes, I would love that. And then they actually sent me an email saying a person at your school contacted us and we would love to do an interview with you. And that's when they sent me a series of questions and I answered them. It was published in the newspaper online. So it was a great experience.
That is awesome. And did you kind of share with all your friends? And
I did. It was awesome. On social media, yeah.
That's great. So, these are crazy times. You were sent home, you couldn't go anywhere, couldn't see your friends. And there's this new virus. I mean, the virus has been around, but it started impacting us in a different way. Right. And then not only that, there were some social injustices that occurred as well. And now, as of today, there's riots and vandalism that's happening. So as a 14-year-old, share your perspective on all this.
For me, I truly believe whatever happened, it does not deserve to happen. I believe that everyone is equal and everyone deserves their voices to be heard. I really advocate for everyone's voices to be heard and everyone should be equal in their own way. And whatever happened, I believe one person should not be judged based off of the color of their skin. Me being a colored person living in the United States, I've been judged. And there have been racist comments to me like, oh, you must be so good at math. You must be so good at academics. Can you help me with this? And to me personally, I believe that should not occur. But there are people in the world who advocate against this. And I really, truly look up to them. One of my biggest idols is Malala Yousafzai, and how she stood up towards girls' education. And even though she was shot in the head, she advocated towards it and she was determined. So I really believe in advocating for what you believe in and letting everyone's voices be heard.
Yeah. And what are you seeing from your peers, during these times when you're, I'm not sure if you guys are seeing all the videos online. What are their thoughts?
My peers are also thinking the same thing. There's been so much controversy on social media, especially. I really think that whatever happened, it's not good. The world is continuously changing, but even in those dark times, there's advocates that stand up towards these bad things. I don't think the riots that are happening in Minneapolis right now, I don't think they're necessary because I believe that everyone's voices should be heard, but not in the form of riots.
Did you watch the video?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And your friends as well?
Yes, they did. It was truly horrific.
Wow. So basically, a lot of the teenagers are watching this and kind of keeping an eye on it and seeing.
They are.
And how are you guys dealing with this? I mean, as you mentioned, you're Indian and you've experienced some racial comments and maybe even experiences. So share with me, how do you guys deal with this?
I have to really give credits to our school guidance counselors and their programs that they have to do. One class we have is called Global Citizenship, and they actually teach us how we can avoid all these racial injustice and what we can do if we're seeing people being discriminated based on race, religion, gender, ethnicity, or disability even for that matter. I feel the teenagers of today, they're really involved in the community, and it all starts with one person that can make a change in the world.
Yeah. So what is next for you, my friend? What are you wanting to do? I mean, you're accomplishing so much. You're going to be a freshman next year in high school.
I am going to be a freshman, yes.
What's your next goal?
So my next goal, eventually in the long term, I would like to be a neurosurgeon because I really believe in helping the world through doing surgery, and I have a huge passion for robotics as well. So I would like to implement robotics in neurosurgery and be a robotic neurosurgeon, I guess you could call it. Also,
cool.
That would be cool. That's my long-term goal because I'm all about helping and giving back to the community and helping those in the need.
So when you think of a goal like that, which is an amazing goal, and the amount of competition, what are your thoughts when you're kind of going into your freshman year? Are you more like kind of nervous and anxious, or you're kind of like, nope, I got this. I know I'm going to do it.
I'm very fortunate enough to be going to Phillips Exeter Academy in the fall, which is a highly competitive boarding school. So my perspectives on that is I believe you should be true to who you are and you shouldn't let anyone influence you, because I've noticed a lot of people change when they go to private school and they forget about their old friends. However, for me, I've always been true to who I am. I've always been myself, and I've introduced my culture. Like at first, I was hesitant to play tabla and introduce it to my school. But then I realized that no, it's my culture. It's who I am. So that's when I realized that I should bring it out and give back to the community in a unique way.
Yeah, that's awesome. To at first, kind of hold something back because of fear, and then just to overcome that.
Right. So that's what happened with me. And I'm extremely grateful that I've done that because it's truly marvelous what I've been able to do. And I really, really enjoy doing it.
It sounds like, just talking with you, that your parents pretty much have it easy. You're like just doing everything you're supposed to do. So tell me about some of your rebellious times or, things that you did that your parents would be very upset about.
Okay. So this is a moment. I actually did Taekwondo, and this is 2 years ago. And I actually did not pass my first test towards my black belt. And that was one time that I threw a huge anger misfit. And my parents calmed me down and I said, no, I'm giving up right now. I don't want to do this. Taekwondo is a waste of my time. We wasted 6 years of my life doing Taekwondo. I'm not doing it ever again. But that's when they calmed me down and said, no, you have to do it. It's best for you. And that's when I realized that I should not give up in my endeavors and what I believe in. And I was determined enough. I practiced harder in the 3 months until the next test. And with their guidance and support, they truly pushed me. All it takes is a little push. But after that push, I worked really hard. And 3 months later, I actually passed the test and got my black belt. And all the credit goes towards them for pushing me to not give up.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Around your age, I was in Taekwondo and I made it to a 2nd degree black belt before I
wow.
quit. But no, I do understand how the difficulty with passing those tests.
Right. So I stopped after 1st degree black belt because I felt that it was getting a bit much for me. And then I learned to manage my time, as I said, which was something that took me a while, but then I'm slowly working towards it.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you were very upset and your parents talked to you, and eventually they were able to get through to you to kind of keep going. So what did your parents do to make you feel heard?
Very interesting question, because what my parents did was first they gave me some time because they have been through what I did. My parents have struggled losses and they've overcome them through perseverance and determination. So they told me their stories about how they suffered a failure and what they did to overcome it. And through that, I became inspired to be determined towards achieving a goal.
So share with us then your relationship with your parents as far as the communication. Do they give you the space to just say whatever you want, however you feel, even if it may even come out a little on the rude side? Or do, you guys have this extreme form of respect and you only can approach them a certain way?
So we're really open with whatever we do. I say that my parents are always convincing me to say whatever is on my mind. And I really admire them about them, because many teenagers, especially going through middle school, they're going to face adversity. It's a really tough time of their lives, especially going through puberty and emerging into adolescence. For me, my communication with my parents is really open. Whatever I feel like, I tell them, and they provide me guidance, which is what I'm really grateful for. However, there is a certain limit to what I can say or do, which they have established. And if I pass that, then that's disrespectful.
Yeah. And what types of punishments or, spankings, like what is the form of corrections whenever you cross that line?
So the form of corrections, it's actually a very interesting question. My parents, they first give me some space because they realize what I've done. And then instead of scolding me, they talk it out with me. I feel like that's the best way to do it, because talking it out is much better than scolding or slapping or punishing. Talking it out, that way I better understand it, and they know that I won't make that mistake again. And even if I do, that way they always provide me with the guidance and support necessary, which I'm really grateful for.
Great, man. Thanks for sharing that. So before, I let you go, I do want to know what's next with your music. So I know that we're still on lockdown with coronavirus. I mean, some states has opened up a little bit, but not 100%. So what are your plans throughout the summer to continue to spread positivity?
I especially would like to go actually in person and play for senior citizens, especially once the coronavirus and lockdown is over. As far as music goes and spreading positivity, my ultimate goal is to play in Carnegie Hall. And also, I want to work towards getting to the Ellen Show, because it's a very unique platform, and I would be extremely grateful for that opportunity.
Wow, that's an awesome goal. So what are your plans to try to get to Ellen?
So my mom and I were actually talking about this morning. So she was saying that I should send an email, or on social media, I should post it and say that I have this and I want to share it with you. And then that's my ultimate goal. So if I could do that, that would be awesome.
Oh, man. Well, I'm rooting for you. I'm in your corner. That would be awesome to see you on Ellen.
That would. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So before we end, can you share any type of insight that would help a parent who is raising a teen in today's world to help them better understand teenagers?
Honestly, the best thing for me is to give me some space personally and provide me the guidance and support necessary. For my parents, whenever I struggled any adversity or any injustice for that matter, they always gave me what their outputs were, and we talked it out instead of actually having a full-blown argument. So I think that would be the best thing to do, to talk it out instead of arguing and punishing, and actually listen to everyone's outputs and come to a conclusion in the end. And I really advocate for letting the voices be heard.
Before we let our guest go, Mr. Fantastic, he's going to show us his fantastic skills on the tabla.
So what I'll be playing right now is a little Indian classical beat, and I'll end with playing it a little bit faster.
When it comes to teenagers, coaching is so effective because we use proven techniques that help teens identify goals and develop actionable plans to achieve them. If you're a parent and you want to learn how to use these coaching techniques to coach your own teen, visit us at coachyourteen.com. Mr. Fantastic shared his experience with homeschooling because of the coronavirus. Parents, I would love to hear you share your experiences with homeschooling. So make sure you join the conversation. You can find us on Facebook by searching A Teen's Perspective. Mr. Fantastic shared so much in this interview, but what I want to share with you is how to remain positive during this shelter-in-place order. There are 3 things as a parent that you definitely want to look for in your teenager. First, you want to encourage your teen to pursue their passion. So in Mr. Fantastic's case, he is extremely passionate about music, and he actually found a way to use his music to spread positivity in the senior citizen community. So my question to you is, what is your child passionate about? And how can you encourage your child to pursue their passion during these times? My second recommendation is to allow your child to have fun. These are times that no one prepared for. Therefore, allow your child to take advantage of these times. Sure, you want them to do all their homework, you want them to study, you want them to maybe do chores, but make sure you allow time for them just to have fun. This is one way to keep them remaining positive during this time, because you have seen the opposite. You have seen kids who are devastated. You have seen kids who are suffering from depression. So one way to assure that your teen will remain positive is to allow them just to have fun. And you yourself as a parent, you have fun as well. And my final recommendation is to encourage your teenager to try something new. This is a perfect opportunity for them to just try something new, do something they've never done before, learn a new skill, learn a new language, play an instrument like Mr. Fantastic. These are times where we have excess opportunity to just do something, do anything. So encourage your teenager to try something new. One way to increase the relationship is if you try something new with them. It would deepen the bond that you guys share. So to recap, the 3 ways to make sure that your child is remaining positive during these times is 1, encourage them to pursue a passion. 2, allow them to have fun. And 3, encourage them to try something new. And I encourage you to do the same. Well, I hope this interview will help in some way with the relationship between you and your teen. Thank you for listening, and thank you so much for all of your support. Please review, rate, and subscribe, and share with a friend. Once again, I'm your host, Dr. RJ, and this is A Teen's Perspective.